Amy, the speakers. I mean, test, I turned it up. It's coming from here and not
We may
from
have,
the HDMI.
we may have to change the,
What's her name on it? That it's set up from over
you
there.
may want to turn it down a little bit because I'm getting ready to change it over to that. Okay, see if it comes through the TV.
Okay. Testing. Well, nobody's on yet anyway, so
Okay.
we'll have this on the recording, so we can go ahead and start.
All right,
Mm.
call the January Finance Committee, to order.
Working through all of that.
So, I'll first look at the minutes from the meeting, November the 16th, our last, Finance Committee meeting. We have reviewed those. And we don't need any changes, I just need a motion to approve. Robert, you got the minutes, you can read them, Doug, if you agree, review the minutes.
I'll look up the version.
Yeah, I'll back and search. No changes, can I get a motion? So moved. So moved, can I get a second? Second. There's a second, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. The opposed, that motion, does carry, thank you. Now, we did, since we did not meet in December, we sent the, November, and December, financials.
November and December, yeah.
Yeah, really nothing, not a lot in there to question from my perspective. I mean, pretty simple. We are earning, more interest from our accounts from both Stockyards and Republic, which is helping us offset, many of the expenses. So, I mean, that's very positive. But as you look through those, expenses,
There she is. Lovely shit.
anybody see anything that they have any questions about or any comments?
What was the peak advertising?
That's it, if I can answer, and sorry, I'm losing my voice. That's the ad agency that's helping us with all of our media launch. Peak Advertising Agency, that's who they are.
Or
For the,
the L
Mhm.
and then the helping to design the products that are going out to folks, all the property owners in the county.
so that includes the poster and everything else?
Yeah.
Which is printing, design.
And their service.
Yeah, and that's
Part of the community
Yeah.
outreach.
It is, and I have a portfolio of everything it's covering, Mike, if you want to see it. Cause it's newspaper, radio, TV, interviews, direct mail to the entire footprint. They're doing two campaigns, the one campaign for El Home, like Laura said, and then the one for the neighborhood meetings. And the one for El Home launched on Tuesday, the 16th. And then we're in the process of getting ready to launch for the neighborhood meetings, and they will have a similar, the neighborhood meetings will have a similar media coverage. We won't do TV, we won't do TV for that, but
They figured out the cost for us for radio advertising or their TV interviews you can get at the same, like on Don G's show. So that people will know about what's going on.
it's a comprehensive package, and we've been working with the communications committee to do all this.
And the communications committees were the cost that.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Wade is leading the charge.
That's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is not just you guys.
No,
It's
oh
based
no.
on her
Exactly.
her recommendation.
It was-
too.
It absolutely, and let me just say, from a complete pro bono standpoint, she has 4 of her team members working with us on this, both of these pieces, which is huge, and including her, overseeing and everything. So when you see her, thank her,
And, you know, quite frankly, as we move forward, in my opinion, you know, I appreciate that, I know we're coming, but the company that they have, Nimbus, does great work, and that may not be a company, may not be a company that we want to do some work for us, because they do a lot
Yes,
of
they
good
They
things.
do
In
fantastic.
my
work.
opinion, we can't keep asking her to do work without that, when it's that quality. Once we get, I mean, I think that we should utilize their services, but hey, you know what? That is still an African American owned business. And it still supports what we're trying to do. And they are one of the best in their field.
Yeah, they are.
But the help she's given has been tremendous.
Yeah, it has.
All right, any other questions about any
Oh,
expenses?
and one more thing, at the board meeting, she'll do a report that'll
Mhm.
go into much more detail about both campaigns and the characteristics of each campaign, what we're gonna be doing to advertise,
Good.
so there'll be more detail.
Any other questions? Alicia, did you see the finance from November, December? You got, I know, I didn't, you got on a little bit late. We did approve the minutes of the last meeting, but if, you know, you see anything in here, you got any questions or any comments about?
I do not.
Okay. Anybody else here? If not, can we get a motion to accept the financials for November and December? Got one motion, is there a second?
Second.
Got a second and a third, appreciate it, all in favor? I ain't hear you, Alicia, did you?
I
Thank you. There we go. Motion carries. All right, now, we do need to go into closed session. Well, let me, Chip, you got anything from a financial advisor standpoint update? Yeah.
The main thing is, Gary Morris, you know, I cannot get in front of Rita without talking about, follow-up from Department of Revenue. So, I talked to Gary, last week, and they do not have their TIF numbers finished yet, but it is, you know, they are focused on it, you know, and he said last week, you know, next couple weeks for what it's worth, but just to remind everybody, all that's gonna inform the partnership about is the base. It's not gonna say anything about what they think you know, so this is, they're assessing, I know it's January 2024, they're finishing assessing on 31/2022. And that will tell us what the base is. That's all it will inform us. It will not inform us what they think happened in that same period, 2023, which will determine the increment. Because that's where and remember, the other key thing about this TIF that's different than the Yelp Center is in most TIFs, this base is going to increase with inflation. So, you know, the partnership will enjoy the difference between the base year and the increment year. But while this might be better, if the base rises, your increment can get smaller, if you will.
Right.
So just informing you all that, but Gary Morris is they're in my opinion focused on it, and you know, I think we'll know something very soon as they have it. I think the other thing we talked about was just offering them to come to a board meeting. I think, in my personal opinion, I think it'd be good to have, you know, just to get them in the flow. The more people see Department of Revenue, they see they're part of the partnership. They're not an outside agency. I think that would be useful, and he's willing, you know, 100% willing to do that. So
Once we get the base, we definitely want to.
yeah, I think it's good for them to report
Yeah,
that,
I do too.
as opposed to the finance committee reporting it, you know, Bill's Trust, outside state agency, you know, that kind of thing, so. That's the main report.
Anybody got any questions for Chip? Or anything else about the tip or anything of that nature?
I have a question,
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am.
Miller. So Chip, with regard to the inflation factor,
Yeah.
Is that just something that would be monitored until we, once we get all the information to really understand what the impact would be, if there will be an impact? Is that how that would?
The Department of Revenue will measure it and, it'll be the state figure for inflation as it relates to Kentucky.
Okay.
And, remember when we met with the commissioner and Gary Morris and all that staff and the young lady over here talked about inflation
Mhm,
and preliminary numbers look like it's 8%.
Right.
Yeah,
mhm.
it's a big jump.
It is.
And that wasn't, I think that was from that time period when they were measuring the base. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what it is this year.
But one thing we might keep in mind, once we get the base figure and then we see what the inflation factor is, going forward, we may want to negotiate some kind of change so that that inflation factor is limited and it
Yeah.
won't have
Yeah,
such a
either
dramatic impact.
It's got a max or it's a
Yes.
percentage of inflation or something.
You're right, and that's the right approach. They'll want to see what it does and then the impact, and that is a feature that the General Assembly can turn off.
Yes.
And that's what we did for the Yum Center, when it was clear that the increment, the base was kind of going up with the increment.
Mhm.
And it wasn't generating the net revenue to the arena to help. They got rid of that inflation
Right.
factor, remember that, Wayne?
Right.
So that kind of created an increment that was profitable.
Yeah.
And that's go ahead, sorry.
No, the second question is, and I know I've talked to Laura about it because it's in the legislation. The 2021 is what's in the legislation. Do you think, in terms of the base year, is that the year that they will stick with? Because 2022 is when we actually raise the money. Do you have any feel for whether they'll?
That's
I
a
mean,
good
what they'll
question.
do on that.
I don't know that I knew that, Rita, to be honest.
No, I think it said 2021 or when we raised the money.
Okay.
I think the base year ended up being 2022.
That's what I.
Yeah, because in our narrative, we've been sticking with the legislation and using 2021, but yeah, the money was raised on June 30th, 2022.
I think that's the base year, isn't it?
2022.
For the tax,
Yeah,
for the, what
we used 2021.
that Presley said, 2021.
Okay,
Difference in
okay,
price between
okay. And that's where I got it confused.
Yeah.
Okay,
It just-
Yeah,
we didn't
that's where
have
I got
an
it.
issue
okay,
with
that's
it
where
this
it's
year.
at.
It's the
Okay.
first time Assessed in the 4-year cycle.
Okay.
So,
And we did use that in the property tax narrative.
Yes.
yes.
We used 2021.
That's the one where it is locked in at 21 and you had to have owned it as of 21 or go to one of your limits.
So what year do we use for the 20 years? 21 or 22?
22.
Okay, okay, all right, that's good.
That's good.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Anything else, Chip?
No, sir.
Alright. Moving right along now, I guess maybe we need to go into closed session, so do we need to
Yes, we need a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel issues which might lead to the appointment of an individual employee pursuant to KRS 61-810 1F. So if we can get that motion,
so I need a motion.
you can just say so moved if you want.
So move.
So move, Alicia, seconded by Douglas.
Okay, so I need to do this first to make sure we didn't have any.
Yeah, and to turn off recording.
You need me to say that?
Well, we don't have any. We don't have anybody.
Okay, if you want to leave the attendees part up.
Yeah,
you just
but
mon-
the,
Stop him.
Oh,
we have to stop the recording because
Right.
the recording goes
Right.
public.
yeah,
So that's gonna stop. That's gonna stop Alicia. So what I'll do is,
she's a panelist. It shouldn't stop her. Should it?
it won't.
It hasn't before when we've done that.
Okay,
has-
so, stopping recording, I'm thinking about signing out. So we just need to pause.
Yeah, I mean,
I can run.
let attendees in, don't we? Well, weren't you and Laura gonna leave?
Okay, yes, yes, okay.
Alright, so now, based on, what we discussed in closed session, on the, need a motion to move Laura's employment status from contract to employee partnership. Anything else I need to say from that standpoint? No? All right, is there a motion?
So move that employment status be shifted from contractor to full-time employee.
And I think we also say, and we approve the form of the contract that was presented.
And we approved the form of the contract that.
So move that, so move we approve the contract in the form that was submitted, as well as transition from contractor to employee.
I got a motion, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, do we have any questions, any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Laura, you a full-time employee of the partnership?
We're presenting it at the board too, aren't we?
Well,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, for full approval.
Right.
Now we can recommend that approval.
That's right.
Alright. Jumping the steps there, I apologize. I'm trying to get that.
So excited.
I'm trying to get that somewhere.
Lord, you got any updates for us as far as?
Well, we've hinted at what has been going on during the interim. There's been a real heavy focus on getting everything lined up for the successful launch of the L Home partnership. And we're also very busy on the advertising for the individual neighborhood communities. So we're gonna have a busy next few months. It's gonna be spectacular. The activity that you should anticipate will be TV appearances. Keith Talley and I have already recorded WLOU
Good.
spot. It's gonna run, and then there's gonna be print media. Rita is working mightily to get everything straightened out with Facebook, so they can be advertising on Facebook, and that's been
A little glitch yesterday, but we're gonna get it fixed.
But that's where our activity is focused, so we'll talk more about that at the board meeting and these community meetings coming up. Really want to encourage as many board members as possible to attend each of these. Because that's where we're gonna get the feedback from folks in the neighborhoods about what they want to see happen in their neighborhoods.
I definitely think that, I don't know how you coordinate that, but you talk to make sure we got X amount of board members coming to these meetings, and I maybe not ask everybody to come to all of them, but look, let's space this out and make sure that we got the proper representative. So like I said, yes, whenever we get those meetings, because I know I'm willing to come to, if I can come tomorrow, I will, but I know I'll make sure that I can come to some, and I'll commit to some, so that we'll have some board representation.
Well, we're really working hard to have the coverage to get the communication out. Now, like you say, Mike, it's just if the people will show up to come, because we're covering all the bases. So,
You didn't get my email about promotional materials
I did you send it when?
Friday.
Okay, I haven't seen it, but, just so you know, the drop dead date now for the listing is tomorrow. So because we're still finalizing a couple of places. So at the board meeting, board members will be able to have all this information and what you're talking about, the material as well. So it should all be done, yeah, the media
I just
team.
wanted to start promoting it.
Yeah,
Our regular neighborhood channels, but I didn't want to go rogue.
Yeah, that would be fabulous.
yeah, because we want to make sure we have all 9 meetings listed in the the postcard that's gonna go to direct mail. So we have a couple of neighborhoods that we're, having to work with a little bit to get confirmations in terms of locations, but
Got it.
it's gonna be fine.
But one other, piece is, Andrew Hawes, who's the,
Hmm.
director of the Housing Partnership, and I just have a regular standing meeting when we exchange ideas. He and I have a meeting scheduled to talk to some of the mayor's representatives about vacant and abandoned houses in the city. To see if we can kind of help the city to move that whole process forward. One of the things that the Housing Partnership has experienced is a number of the houses that they have rehabbed and they have sold to families are located on blocks where they have a lot of vacant and abandoned houses. They had at least one incident with one of these vacant houses burned down and impacted the house that they had rehabbed and sold to a family. So they have,
That happens like once.
houses burning down that are, but for them, they have the capacity to rehab, over 100 houses a year, which would make a difference. So we're having a preliminary meeting with, the city, to talk about, our willingness to be involved and to take some of these vacant and abandoned houses.
That's good. Andy's good to work with too. Good.
So we'll see what happens if we indicate that we are willing to get involved. I cannot imagine that as we start getting information back from the neighborhoods, that this whole idea of vacant and abandoned houses is not gonna be one of the things that people are concerned about. It's gonna be that's the common ordinance.
Good.
It's Dr. Eric's meeting tomorrow.
Yeah,
No, did you talk about that?
I didn't mention it,
Okay.
yeah.
but we've got a date this Friday, right?
Yeah, tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah. Mhm.
Friday, yeah, we have a date, we have a date.
Who we meet with there?
Stockyards.
Stockyards.
Norton,
At 2.
Scott.
what's that?
Scott.
Yeah, Scott Norton, and, I'm not sure who on his team's gonna be there. I asked for Phil Poindexter to be there.
So he may be there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can follow up, but
Okay.
we've got a date tomorrow.
I think it's tomorrow afternoon.
It just, I think the emphasis on it is partnership, this is an investment in community and biggest bank, Louisville-based bank, or one of the, I guess, is it the biggest?
Yes.
But yeah, so,
They moved it, yeah, they're the largest.
Republic.
Nah, it's not good, they made it through after they bought, when they bought Common.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
And they bought expansion in Lexington.
Maybe.
Yeah, they moved ahead, so yeah, they're doing it. Jay and Phil, though, they making it happen over there, so they,
Yeah.
good fellows, and we definitely need a partnership.
it's partnership,
Okay.
Yeah.
investment.
Look here, man, I know, Rita sent out the notice about the death of Jay Michael. Jay Michael has been in this community and he's done, so much, just from the standpoint of, serving as a judge, serving in mayoral administration, serving in, attorney general, serving, in the governor's administration, secretary of the justice cabinet, and then, secretary of the cabinet. And like I said, man, people don't understand what a big deal that was. That was the first African American to ever be the secretary of a governor's cabinet. That it is essentially the number 2 person in state government. And then he came back and with Simmons building that helping Simmons grow. And all while he was doing that, he stayed rooted and connected to the community and to people. And I just think, we gotta continue to lift him up and lift up the things that he worked for. And I think that, definitely a moment of silence at the board meeting.
Absolutely.
And I think that, we just have to be very grateful and thankful for the efforts that he's made, because some of the stuff he's done has really helped a lot of people and helped African Americans in general to be in places that maybe at one time weren't able to be. So, I just wanted to
Yeah.
say that.
And remember the service for him is.
The last time I talked to him, I was sitting in his chair on November 16th. Because whenever he wasn't right here in person, I'd always give him a call, and I will never forget. He said, he picked up the phone, he either said, I'm here at the doctor waiting on some tests, or he said, I'm here at the doctor getting some tests. So at that moment, when you look back at that moment, because he didn't get confirmation until later than that. That just sticks with me because he was beginning to have such a good time, kind of opening up, because he's always so serious. And I mess with everybody. I would always mess with him, get him laughing. And it's just so hard. It was just so sudden,
So quick.
so quick.
Definitely, like I said, keep his family in the
Yes.
prayers, his wife and his kids, and just,
Yeah.
like I said, the community and his spirit, and
Yeah.
the people that were close to him.
And of course, another 3 days later was Ben Richmond.
Ben,
So
yeah,
we
you know,
wanted
Ben
to-
passed, I mean.
Yeah,
he-
yeah.
He's definitely, in the community
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Anybody else have anything else? If not, I guess, can I get a motion to adjourn? So moved. All right, Alicia, we'll see you at the meeting.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I like the hat anyway.
It's cold enough to have, you see what I got on my head?
It's important to keep my ears warm, you know what I mean?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.